Welcome to channel where I make your insight to the Australian visa system. Good day everyone, my name is Carl Young, your online YouTube visa consultant. Are you interested about migrating to Australia? Why don't you consider to subscribe to my channel and turn on the bell on the side so once we have all the updates and news, be the first one getting all the insight. Okay, now today's video is about an update on the so-called protection visa, which the subclass 866, which we rarely updated because it really hasn't been any changes. Obviously not many people is interested in applying for it, but I wanted to get some update because what we have seen today is 2023, the geopolitical issues, the authoritarian states globally has caused a lot of issues. Obviously then that triggers the change and amendments of the law. So I would like to share this a little bit of updates with you. Perhaps this can help you and assist your friends. Perhaps will probably or not. You know, it's not confidence on having those issues on your relative or friend, because obviously it's not good because you're actually facing such issues that you are really running away from your home. But anyway, over the past few months, behind the scene there has been a lot of changes, and I think this amendment is, I'm pretty welcome on this amendment because it actually helps a lot of people. So at the end of this video, I will also share who are those type of victims, should I say, can utilize this type of visa in order to get settlements in Australia. Okay, now first of all, let's have a look at the law. It's a little bit boring, but that's where I wanted to come from. I still wanted to appear on the screen and talk all the time, but referring to the actual piece of legislation, it's concrete. Everybody, the viewer will know, and you will know that it's there. It's not just someone trying to say something to attract people to apply some visa. So okay, now this amendment is called migration amendments, giving documents and other measures. So it doesn't really say refugee, it doesn't give you a keyword or protection, but it does provide a lot of other stuff. It includes a lot of other character issues as well. But today I'm gonna focus on page 15. Let me just scroll right down. It may not mean much, but for a legal visa professional specialist, this is very important. Okay, so Schedule 2 of the visa application by dual nationals. Now, what does that mean? That means you hold, 2 passport plus. Okay, it's actually very important because the background here is prior to July 1st. 2023, if you hold a secondary passport, so you have dual citizenships, Australia as a nation under the United Nations conventions for the human rights and the refugees committees and so on and so forth, Australia technically, well, lawfully, will not be available or with a valid application to actually take a refugee or protection visa of someone who holds 2 passport plus. Okay, so that's basically what it meant. But what this piece of amendment does is basically it repeals it. Now what does repeal? It repeals subdivision 8K. I'm gonna take you there to have to show you. Repeal means cancel, remove, delete. So that is actually very powerful. Means for this provision, in order for Australia to actually take on someone who potentially have dual citizenships, is removed. So Australia now legally, lawfully enables validly to accept those applicants who has dual citizenship. Now, you may ask why was this vital? Now, the authoritarian states in the past 20 years have morphed into something different. So they have global forces nowadays. They have emerged through also United Nations globally. So people even holding secondary passport and they travel to that nation, they still feel threatened. And that's the issue, and that is the key reason Australia is removing these provisions. So let's have a look what happened back then. Now this is legislatiion. This is the database that the visa specialist uses every day. So you can see that at the top left, it's very tiny words, but let me read it out. This is the law was enforced back between the period of 19th of May 2023 until the 30th of June 2023. So back then you can see subdivision AK is still there, and subdivision AK, when I click into the detail there, it basically says, here we go, reason for the subdivision, and it's dealing with people who has let me go on that. So on the top there, dealing with people who has a national with 2 or more countries. Okay, so meaning that this whole thing is removed. So if we go into the new updated database, on the top left corner, you can see it's current. This is July 1st version, and the subdivision AK is completely gone. So if we compare to this, AJ is still up there. Do we still have AJ, AHAI, AJ, and AL? There's no more AK. It jumps straight to AL, subdivision AL. You can see that. So the whole thing is removed. Now, what would that what is the consequences of this one? Is basically what I wanted to share with you is that for instance, those Hong Kong citizens who, well, originally, obviously, they will have the Hong Kong passports, but they also, some of them will also hold British national overseas passport, and there are a lot of other countries having the similar thing as well. Imagine back over in Eastern Europe, there's a lot of dual citizenship as well. So these people, even though they hold 2 passports, and you can see on the news nowadays, there's a lot of medias out there, done by BBC, CNN, those Hong Kong citizens, for instance, they already exiled to UK, and they still got threatened, and they still have that feel. There's still international bodies, well, sent by particular countries, are actually targeting those individuals. So if we're going back to the actual law, these people now can validly lodge and submit a 866 visa in Australia. Now, that doesn't give us the right to actually wrongfully and abusively lodging protection visa all the time. We still need to abide the actual criteria, meeting the actual nitty-gritty criteria required. So that is actually what we can see here. On this side, it says Australian protection obligation, and once we click on that, it goes down to here, and the applicant will still need to show evidence to support that they are well-founded fear of persecution. And I've gone through that detail in my previous video. You may want to do a little bit of search. That's probably back a year ago or 2. So well-founded fear, and need to show that you have that well-founded fear from your original country. So for my instance of the Hong Kong citizen, obviously they cannot really go back. And a couple of days ago, Hong Kong government has actually sending out some bounty thingo as well. So, and they really also need to show they have well-founded fear to actually be staying in the other country where the secondary passport is. For example, UK. In this case, there are actually some Hong Kong citizens still being targeted, even they were and are in UK, England as well. So now that's That's a very quick update here. Although it doesn't really relate to many people. Obviously, this is for protection visa solely, but it's a very good piece of law amendments, as it caters the change of the international circumstances nowadays, because they are authoritarian states now. They expand their arms internationally. So having two passports might not be safe anymore. Can you imagine this? It's just really awkward to think about it, but the piece of the legislation amendment actually helped out a lot of these people. Anyway, should you have more question, query, more than welcome to leave comment right down below, and I see you next video. Goodbye.